God is good, and with each day that passes brings us a day closer to the launch of Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. This is the Nate the Napalm channel, and if you are new here, please consider subscribing, especially if you're interested in Pantheon related content on our march to launch. Today, guys, I want to talk about something very exciting, something that maybe we don't talk about or discuss enough, but a feature that is in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. It's an old feature that we know and love from classic games such as EverQuest and many other old school MMOs. It's something that is kind of a lost art in the genre, in my opinion. Something that people just kind of, the developers just kind of streamlined the experience and kind of lost its way in the adventure aspect of their particular game, and that is mixed difficulty or mixed content within the same areas. So what I mean is, in EverQuest you could be running around in a low level area or a low level zone, and maybe it's set up for, you know, level 10-ish characters, but there are like level 45s roaming about, right? And it made it so dangerous. It made it to where it gave you that same intense feeling of a full PvP game where you have to look over your shoulder and watch out for other players, or you know that at any moment somebody could come by and kill you and maybe take your things, or whatever the case may be. It kind of gave you that same feeling because, number one, because the game was built to be a world, as you get further away from your comfort zone of that city or from that spawn point or whatever the case may be for that particular game, as you adventure out into that world, it gets scarier, the world gets colder, and you feel the burden of exploration. So you're not just out looking at how cool the environments look or the graphics, you're actually out exploring new things and going out further for better experience, for drops, for a quest, whatever the case may be. And I think any old school MMO player from the EverQuest era would agree with me that there was this grand adventure to it, and everybody always throws it back to nostalgia or that the genre was new, so that was where all those feelings come from. Well, yeah, that was part of it, obviously, but in my opinion, a very large part of that was just how dangerous the world was, and that was one of the many reasons, was because of these massively way over the level of where you are, wandering around, that any minute would see you, line of sight you, and come after you and kill you, and in many cases one-shot you. So you couldn't even go near these things, so it would change the way you pull, the way you behave, and the way you play the game because you were afraid of this. And another cool feature of that I always enjoyed, that I've taken part in many times, is when you get a bunch of low levels together and you begin trying to tackle some of these. Now, you weren't doing it in those days even for loot or anything like that. You were actually just trying to have fun. So I know we would get together, a mass, sometimes several groups, basically a raid, you could say, and we would go after like a level 45 monster or mob, way under leveled, and it would be like a raid fight. There'd be deaths, there'd be trying to res people, and massive hits and heals and all this kind of thing, and it was a lot of fun. And you kind of felt like you were helping the other newbies in that area when you did this. You'd be like, hey guys, let's get a group together, let's try to knock out some of these high level monsters so that the low levels don't get killed by them. So it's kind of like you're on guard duty kind of thing, almost like a role play type experience. And those kind of things are what makes the world more alive and more interesting. And that particular feature is going to be in Pantheon. We've heard them straight up say that, but we've also heard them during streams talking about that this is a dungeon for lower levels. However, there is quite a bit of content in there for the upper echelon, for the higher levels to come back here. And besides the actual danger, by presenting content in a lower level area and mixing that content with higher level content, what ends up happening is these high levels end up coming to this area. And that's excitement too, You know, the lower levels, seeing people with this cool looking gear, this exotic gear they've never seen before, doing spells they've never seen, nuking things, and all these abilities that they can't do yet, and it kind of gives them that thirst level of, wow, I want to be that cool one day, right? Like, I want to be able to do that. I'm going to keep grinding away. I'm going to keep working hard because I'm going to be like that guy one day. Plus, in a game built around community, which Pantheon is going to be that type of game, those higher levels will actually be assisting and helping the lower levels by giving them buffs and things like that. This is all part of that experience of building a community. When you make your game in certain ways, such as the things that we just discussed, which is just a small portion of doing it that Pantheon's building here in the world of Terminus, but it's these small pieces like this that actually foster that community and create those lasting memories of cool things happening. And this is all without even going into the fact of, let's say you're in this lower level dungeon and you're running around with your group and you come to an area where you're like, whoa, we really can't go past this point because this is really high level content, and you're kind of just peering down, looking at the pathways that you can't go down. You're like, man, I wonder what's even deeper down there, and that kind of thing. And then way later, when you're the high level and you come back to there, how exciting it is to finally pierce through that veil and get to experience that content and see the monsters and mobs and loot and treasure and bosses and whatever's down there, that mysterious place that you couldn't go before, and how rewarding that is just for getting to do that particular piece of content that was presented to you at a very early point in the game. So it all adds to the addiction level of wanting to keep playing the game, pursuing goals within the game, and making that world feel alive, which is the point of it all. And I would also like to mention that it's a very brave thing for a company like Visionary Realms to be pursuing this particular goal, because we all kind of see that the money is in the instant gratification and laughing at a zone, or not even worrying about it, just breezing mindlessly through the content while you watch Netflix on a separate monitor, that kind of thing. That's where the genre has went. And I think that people are beginning to be tired of that. I think that's kind of the drag on the genre at this moment. And although what I just talked about is just a small piece of the pie, if you're interested in more detail of all the other feature-rich content that they're building with Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, then I highly implore you to check out my channel. Go to the playlists, and there's hundreds of videos about Pantheon there where I talk about the different concepts of the game, where I theorize all kinds of things. So please go check that out if you're interested. But also, guys, if this sounds like a great thing to you, if you're definitely in that camp and you are waiting for a game like this, that game is being made now, and it's actually coming along really well. And although we're still in a point where the game hasn't reached alpha as of the time of this recording, we're nearing it. It's obviously getting closer. And every day that passes, guys, is a day closer to that. But I would highly implore you, if this is the kind of game that you've been looking for that challenge, for that living in a world type experience, that you go and get a pledge package, because here's the deal. The game is fully funded, all right? It is coming out. But the more money they receive on these pledge packages only speeds up the process, allowing them to hire more people, which they've showed time and time again that's exactly how they spend their money, is they hire more people and to get the ball rolling faster. So the more pledges that we have and the more support we give to Visionary Realms, the quicker this game's going to come out, the quicker we can dive into this world and begin living in it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with in the comments down below. Let's talk about this in this mixed content kind of variety in the zones and in the world, and some experiences you've had in EverQuest or other old school MMOs with this type of content. And until next time, guys, God bless and happy gaming. Listen to what I say. I've been making videos all day. My friends all say I'm it's a video buffet. You can even hit replay. But please just subscribe. I can't even describe being part of my tribe. I'll even offer you a prize, but just please just subscribe and hit the bell notification too.